All right, so I'm gonna do this really quick and short video. Quick is relative with me. I wanted to remind you of your godhood. Okay, I know that's a controversial subject. I know people don't want to face that realization or whatever. Um, all we're doing is ourselves a disservice, rendering ourselves essentially powerless. Everything needs to come from without us. Without an outside entity, we can do nothing of our own. There's nothing good in us. We're just human beings. All of the sentiments you might have grown up as I did, learning in Christianity or what have you. But let me just throw something out there just for you to consider, and hopefully you'll be able to go to sleep on this, as I'm about to do. I don't know what time it is. It's got to be close to 7. Let me just build you up a little bit, okay? So check this out. Put on your thinking caps and imagination. Imagine with me, okay? I contend, once again, that we are gods and goddesses. Okay? Now, I've done a minor study. I have not delved deeper or deep enough into it yet, and this is kind of going to piggyback on the one that I started, which had to do with the mind, body, and soul. I'm going to be going deeper into this. I'm going to expedite this one, though, so that this video is not long and I got to get to bed. So, with that being said, hold on. Okay, I'm back. All right. So, again, piggybacking on the previous lesson, I'll just say, that I did on the mind, body, and soul. I said that the body obviously is a meat suit that has like umpteen trigger points on it, known as sensory nerve endings and what have you, right? So those are obviously for you to receive information, to respond. Let's say for heat, you put your hand on something hot, you pull your hand back because it sent a message instantly saying remove your hand or it will be burned, something to that effect. So the body is full of it, okay? So it's definitely there, the body is definitely there to receive signals, okay? But also we can transmit with this meat suit through touch, right? We can blow on someone, we can spit if we wanted to. So it's used for various things, including procreation, right? You use your body, two bodies come together, right? Okay, I don't need to go into details on that, do I? All right, so there's that, the body. Secondly, the mind. The mind is merely the storage, right, for the memories that are constructed by the senses. Those senses I just said, or the meat suit has the sensory endings, the nerve endings. Okay, so this is, the mind is where all of the memories are stored, all of the learned behaviors. In other words, all of the things that you have learned over the span of time that you have been alive, such as touching a hot iron, slamming your finger in the door, and the like, right? Falling off your bike, doing silly things and getting injured or whatever. All of those memories are stored in the mind, okay? All of those memories are stored in the mind. That's where it's at. Okay, and so memories become basically the recorded frequencies, the stimulus, as compiled by the senses. All right, they say we have 5 senses, right? Sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch. What's the other one? Hearing, did I say? Hearing, yeah. Oh, whatever. You know what they are. They're 5. All right, so that's how you take in information as the point into the body. All right, and you can transmit as well. All right, but the point is there are memories that are stored as a result of the transmission and reception of those signals. Okay, and so the memories are responsible for setting the triggers. Okay, for activity or inactivity, meaning that if I had once slammed my finger in the door because I closed the door the wrong way, perhaps by gripping the door and then slamming it shut as a little kid or whatever, you didn't know any better. The first time you did it was probably one of the last times you did it, right? And so that pain signal, the sound, where you were at, all of those parts or elements having to do with that memory of that event are forever burned in your mind. They're stored there, those memories. That's what the purpose of the mind is. And that can go to trauma, as in sexual assault or molestation and all that kind of stuff. All of those things are buried in what they call your psyche or your mind, okay? Subconscious, etc., etc. All right? And then thirdly, there's the soul, okay? The soul is said to be the compilation or the conflation of the mind, which again is the storage area for the memories, okay, and what is called the spirit, okay, the spirit, the Latin spirare or spiritus, meaning to blow or breath, okay. So when the breath or the spirit or the animating element of a human being, right? That's when the spirit leaves the body, it's that, you die, right? That's what they personify as death, or, as the escaping of the breath from the body, okay? And so, again, the soul is said to be the combination of the mind and the spirit, okay? All right, so if you have not already, please go back and watch the short series on the mind, body, and soul and get caught up. Okay, I gave you just a brief primer, okay, but you can go back and watch the video itself because we need to move forward. We're at 7 minutes. All right, so now the point of what is my point? Okay, the point is the mind, body, and soul. What can be interpreted as the human being's purpose on this earth then? If we are made, every human being is made of mind, body, and soul. Any arguments? Okay, so if there are no arguments, we'll continue. And we will now go into, then what is our purpose? What is the purpose of a human being? You ever ask the question, you look in the mirror, what am I here for? What am I here to do? Am I here to work a job, a 9 to 5? Am I here to, have one vacation a year? Am I here just to be a glutton for punishment? People pick on me, to be bullied, to be poor? Am I here to be enslaved? All right. So let's answer that question. Let's answer that question. And, using rational analysis, right? Because we do know what a human is made of. So let's just use the parts that are there, the mind, the body, and the soul. And so here's my interpretation of our purpose in accordance with the elements that make up a human being. Ready? All right. So here it is. The purpose is to receive negative, positive frequencies, stimuli, feel, to receive through the senses and to transmit, right? We know that that's the body's purpose, to transmit and receive. So the purpose is to receive both negative and positive frequencies, signals, etc., through sensory experiences. Remember, all of the sensory, all of the nerves and things like that you have all around your body, more in some areas like the lips and the fingers, for, romantic, we all experience that. I ain't got to go into detail. But so that's how you receive those frequencies, those feelings and all that kind of stuff through the sensory experiences throughout the lifetime of the body. Remember, all of the occasions, the situations, both good and bad, are stored in the mind, never to be erased. They're not erased. They're there. The lifetime of the body. Okay, which are stored and compiled in the mind, as I stated before, as bits of memory that act as trigger switches. Why do I say that? Because again, if you slammed your fingers in the door by holding the door the wrong way. You're only going to do that one, maybe two times. I bet you the second time was not your fault. It was probably somebody else that was closing the door, right? But you didn't. Okay. So the point is now every time you go to the car to close that door, your mind, that memory is going to be recalled or remembered, right? And you're going to a little voice from your mind is going to speak to you and say, Courtney, watch where your fingers are. Watch where your fingers are. Remember that last time you had your fingers wrapped around that door when it closed? Remember how that felt? You don't want that to happen again, do you, Courtney? We've all heard, okay, a little voice going to talk to you, right, from the mind. That memory is going to stand out like a sore thumb. All right, so that's why I say trigger switches. Okay, that's what they're bits of memory. Okay, that are stored in the mind that are going to act now for your lifetime as little triggers. So you're going to be triggered when you get into a situation that is similar to the situation at which you received trauma. You following me? You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, moving on. Aiding in the determination, okay, those trigger switches are going to aid in the determination of activity or non-activity, meaning it's going to cause you either to act to protect yourself, or it's going to cause you to be like, I'm not doing that. Non-activity. I'm not participating because I recall and I remember the same scenario, the same situation, or similar enough that that mind gets to talking to you. That memory is called up like data, on a computer CPU unit or something. All right. So it also is going to trigger once that memory is triggered, it's also going to tell you the significance or insignificance of a situation as well. Okay. And then a fight or flight kicks in and all that kind of stuff. All right. So moving on. All right. So we're almost there. We're in closing. Okay. So here's even a further breakdown. Okay. Of the aforementioned. What is the purpose of the human on this earth? Okay. Here it is, in my words, to act or not act based upon triggered memories, which are constructed from the body's experiences with both positive and negative influences. Let me read that one more time. To act. What is the purpose? What is our purpose on this earth? What is our purpose engulfed in this body, in this meat suit? To act or not act based upon triggered memories, which are constructed from the body's experiences with both positive and negative influences. Really think that through. Now listen to, I'm going to close with this. If, in fact, I am correct, okay, and I don't find any reason why this is a grandiose idea or far-fetched, right? Because all I did was take the elements of a human being, mind, body, and soul, and I looked them up, and I did the etymology on the origination of the terms and words, and simply it was not hard to do. It's like reverse engineering. And so what is there really to debate? What is there really to argue about? Okay? So to act or not act based upon triggered memories, right? Those memories that you have compiled from birth until now. Every event that you have gone through, the mind holds on to it all and acts as triggers when you're in a similar situation. That's how you learn. That's how you know things. Watching mom, watching dad, the traumas that you watched your brothers and sisters, they fall down and break their arm or something like that. You remember all that stuff. You go through, that's why they say we go through it too, with you, right? It's not just you that suffers. Whenever a family member is injured or what have you, the family goes through it too. Everybody's traumatized. It becomes a mark on everybody's mind, right? And so there's a record kept of the body's experiences, whether positive or negative. There's a record that is kept and never erased or forgotten. And so with that being said, now hear me out. I contend that you and I are gods and goddesses. Why do I say that? Because we create. We create. So, okay, Courtney, if we're gods and goddesses, then why do we have a mind, a body, and a soul? And, if we're gods, how come we're not invisible, supernatural, et cetera, right? All of those dissenting arguments, fair enough. But hear me out. Hear me out. If, in fact, you are a creator, as we know we are, we're creators. We know that we invent things. Look around you. Look at the houses. Look at the skyscrapers. Look at everything that is man created. Okay? And all of these things are created off of a compilation of the generations previous. We're just improving upon or adding to someone else's idea, and it becomes more intellectual, it becomes more technological, right? That's all we're doing. Because I contend that we're all gods, creators. Okay? Now, as gods, we being in these meat suits, we receive frequencies from around us, from everywhere, right? It's in nature, et cetera, et cetera. The sun, it has its effect upon our bodies, and we're receiving from that as well. And we're able to transmit too those experiences that contribute to the future. If let's just go with me here. I know we're at 17 minutes, and we're going to continue this, okay? But the Statue of Liberty wouldn't have been there if the creator had not had a certain experience, a certain or a run-in with someone or something, right? Those ideas to do these things come by influences or inspirations from others or other situations. How many situations can you tell me of in your life where something perceived as good has come as a result of something bad or negative? Everybody knows these situations. If it had not been for that, I would have never even done that. And to you, it's astounding. It's like, oh my God, I could have missed that opportunity. But thank goodness that this negative situation happened that propelled me into the creator or inventor that it took to bring this into fruition. Okay, so that is a creator as a result of the stimuli and the negative and positive frequencies that have crossed your path. All right, with that being said, I just want to put something on your mind and in your heart to consider. All right, the mind, body, and soul, which is the trifecta, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. All right, any of those trifectas, those ideologies, you can use them there. Any of them, they all fit. Okay? But the point is, again, the mind, body, and soul, to receive both negative and positive frequencies through the sensory experiences throughout the lifetime of the body. And those sensory experiences are stored and compiled in the mind as bits of memory that act as triggers. See, you did something, you created something, you invented something, because you were triggered or inspired by something external. All right, with that being said, I'm going to go on ahead and get off of here. Appreciate you for checking in, and we'll see you on the next upload. Peace.